Welcome to episode 72 of Bardic Quest. In this episode, the party sets out to uncover who is after Sergei and why. The stakes are high as the party races against time to protect Sergei and avoid facing the wrath of the law themselves. Last time, Thorik, Saga and Gundren were making their way to Phandelver when they were rejoined by their smelly halfling bard friend, Sergei. And they, after catching up, made their way further south towards the town. As they reached the town, they did notice that there were banners linked to the Lord's Alliance all over town, as well as a smattering, a very dense smattering of wanted posters featuring a familiar, badly drawn portrait of Sergei, who was wanted for crimes of piracy and murder. Sergei decided to make himself invisible and go and investigate, and he found that there were many guardsmen within town, but he took refuge in Stonehill Inn, in one of the rooms there, briefly, before headed back to Saga and Thorik, and collectively, with words of encouragement and almost oaths of protection from Thorik, Saga, and to a degree Gundren Rockseeker, they promised to ensure that Sergei be kept safe as they ventured into town to find out what awaits both him and them. So, we pick up now as Saga, Thorik, Gundren, and kind of Sergei venture into town. Is there anything that you would like to do or say as you are making your way into town proper?
Well, just have a good old look around. Who's around? Who's walking on the street?
Okay.
And keep Sergei between us, I think.
Okay. Could you give me a perception check, please?
Oh dear. 2!
This is diabolical.
Yeah.
How about you, Thorik?
Oh, would you like me to roll as well?
Yes, please.
14.
14?
9.
9. Thorik, you are hearing behind you, much like you did earlier in the day, some very faint, slow this time, not quick, but some very faint footsteps behind you, crunching in the frosty snow.
You're losing your touch, old friend.
Huh?
I thought you wouldn't see me.
Didn't. I heard you.
Oh, what a fine young gentleman!
You
Are
are.
you doing as well?
Johann, a strange old woman that you think may be Margaret is talking to you.
Grab Johann's cheeks and just give him a good wiggle.
Yes, hello.
Saga leans into Johann and goes, "It's Sergei."
Yes, hello. I am an old woman.
Oh, Johann just grabs his hand. Get off me.
Oh, ow.
Then I ruffle his hair.
Watch out, it's permed.
Johann spends a minute trying to work out what the word permed means. But then
Does Margaret have a pink rinse?
she is of the Pink Rinse Brigade.
Hey, if Sergei wants Margaret to have a pink rinse, this version of Margaret can have a pink rinse.
We were trying to be inconspicuous.
So was
No
I.
comments.
But Thorik noticed me. It's good to see you, Sergei. Sergei.
Gundren says to you, have you been drinking?
Yeah, have you been drinking?
Uh,
And if so, where did you get that dwarven ale from? Because I am parched.
it's cold and I'm tired. And please don't ask about alcohol because I have a very low tolerance. And the last time I took a sip of something, it did not go well. And that is not an invitation for any of you to try and make me drink things that... Anyway, do you know there's wanted posters of you everywhere? Looking at Sergei.
Of who?
Exactly, of who?
Margaret.
Oh, is that my...
Yes, we're going in to check out what's happening, but we don't know who this person is.
We have never seen the person in these posters before.
No, but if anyone asks, he is my son, and I've disowned him.
No,
And he's
no,
run
we don't.
far, far
You don't want
away.
any connection to him, surely. They'll haul you in for questioning.
You're terrible at this. No.
Also, Margaret's a human. How would that even be possible?
Just for the record, by the way, Sergei, your disguised self does only last for 1 hour.
I'm aware.
Just,
Let's get a wriggle on, shall we?
just putting it out
We're
there.
so bad at this.
You don't know him. You've never seen him before in your life. Keep your mouth shut. We're escorting you home in these troubling times, Margaret. You live here in Phandelver. We're escorting you home because there are red brands around, and we've just saved Gundren Rockseeker.
Yes.
Though we might not
Exactly.
mention Gundren either because of reasons. Let's just go in and see what we find.
Okay.
Yes. Let's go in.
Okay, so you venture into town again. These banners are everywhere. Like, it's almost like they're trying to paint the town red, so to speak.
He said it. He said it.
Yeah.
And they are everywhere, as are these wanted posters. There seems to be some sort of political occupation going on. And certainly a huge amount of effort is being put into finding Sergei. Again, the reward for his capture is 1,000 gold pieces.
What
Don't
did
get
you
any
do?
ideas, Johann. Don't get any ideas.
If only I valued money. It's more, if anything, Johann's jealous because he's thinking to himself, how many people do I have to kill to get on a wanted poster? Like, I've killed so many people in my time. Like, I reckon he's killed like 2 at most.
God,
Yes.
he's jealous.
Actually, probably.
So I even like whispered to him, what did you do?
I killed a man.
This is not the time or the place, you two. Will you two kindly shut up?
Yes.
Interested.
I was a pirate.
I knew you were a...
We don't do it in public.
Shut up, the pair
Sorry,
of you.
I mean,
We can
sorry.
talk about this later.
Sorry.
By the way, just for sake of clarity, because I've heavily implied it, but I'm not sure if actually you are aware. So I'm just going to outright say it. You definitely recognise this portrait of Sergei
Yeah.
as the one that
Oh,
was
yeah.
drawn in town by the bay.
Ah.
What?
Oh, that's really come round to bite us, hasn't it?
I'm not sure
Oh,
you were even there
yes.
for that episode.
Yeah.
Thorik.
Oh my god. I never should have asked for it. Here's a word of advice, listeners. If anyone's doing portraits in London or and you perchance are a pirate, don't get them to draw a picture of you. A caricature, if you will.
So it seems like your artist friend did well for himself in the end. Come on, let's go.
He's got a lovely line, though.
It really captured the light. Yeah.
What do you mean? You look nothing like me.
It's
Not
uncanny.
right now, you don't.
Saga's just gonna stomp into the Stonehill and she's done. She is done.
Following the leader of the group.
Johann's like walking, but kind of his eyes follow you everywhere.
All right. So you venture into the Stonehill Inn, which again is very, very quiet. There is practically nobody in here except for staff.
Do we recognize the staff?
Yes, there is Toblin Stonehill, who is the proprietor. His wife is milling about. You keep seeing her going in and out of the
She's
kitchen.
always milling about.
And also there is the rather flirtatious barmaid that you had
Exactly.
encountered previously.
I'm gonna go to her because she
Okay.
liked me. I remember.
She did throw you a cheeky wink, if I recall.
I'm going to usher the boys to sit down at a table, just in a corner with like in like a booth. Have like Sergei and Gundren like in the back of the booth with me and Johann in front of them.
Okay.
Weapons on the table.
Did she introduce herself by name last time, or was she
I
just milling about?
don't believe so. I think she was
Okay,
just milling
but
about last time.
I'll go to the bar and acknowledge her, like, oh hi.
And
Huh.
she sees you, and her face lights up to see you, and she stops what she's doing, and she leans on the bar, and she kind of coyly says to you, "Hi."
Hi. Nice to see you again. We've been out of town for a while. What's happening? It's really quiet.
Oh yeah. Well, and she kind of looks around and she says, I don't think the Lord's Alliance are particularly happy with the townmaster.
Oh. What's he done?
Well, not a lot, I think, is the problem.
But it's not like embezzlement, or just not doing something about the red brands. Which is
I think more not really doing anything about the red brands.
okay. So is he still the townmaster?
At least for now.
Oh, so these Lord's Alliance people,
Yeah.
what are they like? Well, what are they doing in town apart from putting red banners everywhere?
Well, rumour is it's a bit of a clean-up operation, I think.
What do you mean
to
by clean
weed
up?
out all of the bad.
Red brands, right?
Yeah, and a few others, I think.
Ah, okay. When did they come into town?
Oh, maybe about 5 days ago now.
Okay. And any trouble since they've been in town, Fights, ruckus, rebellion?
I wouldn't say trouble, but everybody's kept their heads down since. Nobody's
Okay.
really wanting to step out of line.
Ah,
The guy who is kind of leading this cleanup,
Mhm.
he's a bit, well, I wouldn't say necessarily intimidating. That's probably the wrong word, but ruthless, perhaps.
Okay. Well, do you know his name? What he looks like?
Oh, yeah, I think it was a guy called Iano Albrecht.
Yeah.
Iano
Albrecht.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, anyway, I'll get 4 ales for that table
Sure.
for me and my companions.
Did you?
And I give.
Is this like just passing through sorts of ales, or are you like celebrating anything, or
Just passing through.
Oh, okay.
We just finished a job, having a bit of a break.
Oh, okay, sure. So
Yeah, no,
what, just like
not
the
celebrating anything.
the Dondar ale, or
What do you recommend? What's
there's the Dondar ale or the Luskan Stout. Both are pretty good. Both the same price as well.
Let's try this out.
Okay, great. And she, how many? Sorry, for
4.
4. Okay. There are 5 of you. Is the
Oh yes, sorry.
old lady not drinking? I could get her something a little bit more.
No, one for the old lady. Just the one in the hood. Can't really handle it.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
She gives you a wink, and then she goes and grabs 4 tankards and goes to a barrel with a tap on, and she fills them up, and she says, "Okay, that's 18 copper, then, please."
Okay. I'm gonna give her like. Is 2 copper insultingly low of a tip? What's the economy?
I wouldn't say so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, most people earn like a gold a week, so...
Yeah, I'll give her 20 copper and be like, keep the change, thanks. Anything else you can tell me about these, Albrecht? What's his deal? What does he want?
Well, I mean, he's the one really spearheading the whole get this pirate thing.
Oh, yeah. Oh, the posters, you mean?
Yeah. He seems like that. Like, never mind the red brands. That seems to be his focus, if you ask me. So,
okay.
Where have you guys been? You said you just finished a job.
Oh, we just went through the tribal trail. Long, loads of walking, boring.
Yeah. You
wolves, that kind of thing.
Oh, okay. So who was paying you for what? Was it just walking?
Escorting some stuff.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Very boring. Boring,
and,
but
you said you're
pays
just
the
passing.
bills.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You said you're just passing through. You staying long, or you got somewhere to be?
Not sure. We're gonna see if we can find another job, that kind of thing.
Okay. Nothing lined up then?
Not yet.
Oh, okay. Cool. Well, stay as long as you like.
Thank you. And I'll go back to the table.
Thorik leans into Johann and is just like, she has absolutely no idea, does she? Thank you, your input is... The Silent Rouge.
Silent Rouge. Yeah. And I think he's now frozen as well.
Oh, I think he may be.
And staring.
Yeah.
Try and work out how he should feel.
Say that.
Johann's kind of staring to work out how he should feel. Kind of like a hawk. Eyes like a mouse and wonders if he's hungry or not. So, like, should I kill her? Is that too much? Nah.
What was that, Johann?
Nothing. I believe she's coming over with our drinks.
Oh.
How are you, Sergei?
Ooh.
I mean,
I punch Johann hard in the arm, like really fucking hard.
Margaret!
Yes, I'm fine.
Are you Margaret?
My knees are weak. My arms feel heavy.
Oh god.
Strange new form, actually.
Okay. Is that? I just look at Thorik. Is that code for something?
No, I'm just saying that the older I get, the more weaker my knees feel, and heavier my arms. They're not usually this big.
With respect, maybe we could all just have a quiet drink and not sort of get into any sticky situations where we might accidentally let anything slip, Johann.
Forgive me. It was a momentary lapse of judgment. It won't happen again.
Saga arrives at the table. Well, I found out the name of who's spearheading this search operation for a certain criminal.
Yes, what is it?
I'm probably gonna... Jarno Albrecht.
Oh,
Does that
what a
mean
pisser. I mean, what a pisser. Shit!
Do you know him?
Famously.
How?
He has been looking for me for a while.
Have you met him before?
Have I met him before? When?
No.
No.
Never met face to face.
I have never met face to face.
Well, he's apparently the head of, the Lord's Alliance.
Yes, slightly ruthless.
Apparently they came into town 5 days ago. The town master is in trouble for not doing much. So that's interesting.
What of the red brands? Do they still maintain a presence?
It's been quiet. Apparently the Lord's Alliance are getting rid of red brands and other undesirables.
Does that include us?
Well, no.
I think it may do, in the fullness of time.
Well, not us right now, because we're having a nice drink and no one's bothering us.
It's so quiet.
Yes. She said everyone's keeping their head down while they're in town.
Even when the red brands were here, it wasn't this quiet.
Yes, well, I prefer it without the red brands.
No argument there.
Do you think we should talk to Sildar?
Is he in town?
When he was in Phandelver, wasn't he?
When last you were here, yes.
Oh, and he's part of the Lord's Alliance, and
and he knows who this Sergei figure is and who Sergei travels with.
do you think that would be a problem, Margaret?
I don't know a Sergei, so no.
No, do you think it would be a
Yes.
problem that we went to speak with Sildar if...
I mean, we saved his life. Surely that means something.
Gundren, you're
Yeah.
friends with Sildar, you know?
I am,
Can you vouch for Sildar?
Well, he's a trustworthy fellow, and, well, if you've rescued him too, I'm sure he'll be happy to help in any way he can, although he is a member of the Lord's Alliance, and he will have hierarchical structures that he must follow, and he is a man of honor, so
Yes. What?
it really depends on what he's heard. But as I say, he does owe you his life, so perhaps that might serve as some sort of, potential. Well, I don't want to say it in these sorts of terms, but leverage, I suppose.
I mean, surely that's the biggest leverage you can have.
I'd say so.
Well, what are our plans here? What do we intend
Good
to
question. Perhaps we should rent a room so that Margaret has a safe place to change.
Oh, yes, actually, now that I mention it, you mentioned mentioning a room. Maybe we don't want to stay in the inn for so long.
Why?
I may have left a misdirecting note upstairs.
What does it say?
I quickly invented a character, and the note informs that this Sergei figure has gone very, very, very far north.
That's a good thing.
And a bounty hunter was able to get these belongings. He's gone after him, but he left a note behind.
Right.
I can't see why we still can't stay at the inn.
Surely the inn is the safest place. It's the last place they'll expect you to be.
I suppose so.
Someone has a room with you. Make sure you're safe so you can morph in and out of character.
I'd be like one of those silly actors.
Stupid actors.
Johann, you have actually noticed, as you've been sat with Margaret, that there is a significant absence of strong odour coming from Margaret, which is conspicuous by its absence.
I just want to say that, well, more ask, really, because I'm not familiar with these sorts of garments that you're wearing, Margaret. Yeah. Only you don't smell quite so disgustingly offensive as you usually do. Is this the nature of your garments?
Well, I pick flowers for a living. I wouldn't smell that bad. Right?
Fine. You can tell me later.
So are we staying here for the night, or
I think it would be wise.
are we going to
What time of
walk
day is
around?
It's now very much evening. Like it's like sun is right on the horizon. Like it will be darkness within, well, less than an hour.
And there's still no one here.
Not really, no.
Weird.
I feel like we should go and speak to someone before turning in. Seems a waste of.
That's
For the
an
record,
idea.
by the way, Margaret, you have only 30 minutes left of your disguised self at this point.
I'll be fine.
No, you won't.
I have more spell slots.
Garments.
More juice.
We can
Time left.
Juice.
we can get our rooms, and then a couple of us can go talk to people.
I have more milk in the bottle, is what I'm trying to say.
Why does that sound disturbing?
Please no.
So how about I go ask her for some rooms? Margaret can turn in because she's old, and some of us can go talk to a few people before we turn in.
Yeah.
Saga, I've got some coinage, but did we get a little nest egg from the castle? I seem to remember.
Yes, we definitely have enough to say, and like
Would you be
quite a long
happy
time.
to? Would you be happy to pick?
Yes, that's no problem. Just so who's going to share with Margaret to make sure she's safe?
I will share with Margaret to make sure she's safe.
Which means you two are sharing. Lovely.
Gundren will need to.
Of course, I'll get a room for Gundren.
Thank you. Very kind.
Yes. I mean, I'll get one for myself, and if Johann wants to share, that's fine. Or I'll get another one. Just tell me how many rooms, and I'll go get them.
I've shared with you before. I don't mind sharing with you.
Okay, good. That's settled then. And then she kind of abruptly goes back to the bar.
I would like to put my hand on Johann's leg, give it a squeeze, and just go, "Well played."
Just sort of lean in with the standard like smooth.
I feel like The booth is getting very crowded.
And Gundren kind of raises his eyebrows at you. He doesn't say much, but he's very
Gundren, I don't know you that well.
I heartily cheers
apologies.
No, you don't owe him any apologies. And in Dwarvish, I will give Gundren a true cheers of Dwarvish kin.
Which Gundren returns with spirit.
Question: does Gundren live in Phandelver? Did I just pay him for a room in a place he lives in?
No, he does not live in Phandelver.
Okay, good.
And Johann, should you ever want to practice your kissing, I have plenty of years of practice.
What's Margaret wearing?
Excuse me. Yes.
Margaret, what are you wearing?
Just I guess like a farmer's apron, like a little pouch at the front.
Okay.
Like gardener's gloves.
Mm-hmm.
Like a little coif, maybe.
Okay.
Kind of with my grey curly wavy hair.
I'll pull his apron up over his head and give him a clap on the back of the head.
You do know that looks so suspicious. You're doing that to an old woman.
Worth it.
Saga goes back to our barmaid friend.
She offers you the 3 rooms for a total sum of 12 silver pieces.
Okay, yeah. I shall pay 12 silver pieces.
Okay. And she hands you 3 metal, sort of like iron keys to the room. The rooms, plural.
Okay.
I whisper to them as we're walking up the stairs. You know, this could be a trap.
A trap that I just paid for.
I don't know. It just seems suspiciously easy to get in, get around.
Have you, if we hadn't stayed in a tavern before, I would ask you, have you ever stayed in a tavern before?
I'm just saying, the last time Sergei was here, he was with us. Someone might have seen us too. They might not have our portraits, but they might.
Sergei's not with us.
Can we please stop saying that particular name, Johann?
Yes, indeed. For someone who's known for their stealth, you are not being very conspicuous.
Could we maybe
I'm just saying, the last time the old woman was in town, she was with us. Someone might have seen us. They might have our descriptions.
And if we keep whispering to each other, that could also be seen as conspicuous. Everyone laugh at the hilarious thing I just said.
Okay.
I don't get it.
Oh, Thorik, are you going to stay with Margaret if me and Johann go and talk to people? Or who's coming to talk to people with me?
I can stay in the room. It's all okay.
Yes, but someone needs to look after you.
Do you want me to stay with you, Granny?
Why did that feel really threatening, Thorik? I'll be fine on my own.
You can take it how you want.
I'm uncomfortable, Thorik.
Good night, Gundren. And I just hand Gundren a key because
Gundren kind of waves goodnight and almost quite hurriedly moves into his room. And as he closes the door behind you, hear it click of the lock as he locks it behind him.
How much would dinner cost here in the tavern?
You're probably looking at about 3 silver pieces apiece.
Okay, well, out of Thorik's meager stores, he will 3 silvers apiece, so that's 5 maths, 15, so 1.5 gold pieces. I will sort of knock on Gundren's door again. Gundren.
Hi.
We'll be back in a bit, but here's some. I'll give him 1.5 gold. We'll be back in a bit. Get yourself something hot to eat, yeah?
Oh, thank you very much. As if I don't owe you already.
Nah, well, you need some. I'm sure they weren't feeding you particularly well in that castle.
No, that's true.
Mm.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So let's find someone to talk to.
So Sergei and Gundren are staying at the Stonehill Inn. And Thorik, Saga, and Johann are going questioning. Is that correct?
Yes.
Wonderful.
See.
Okay.
Sorry, say that again. What? Who?
So I'm just clarifying. Gundren and Margaret are staying at the inn, whilst Thorik, Saga, and Johann go and question people. Right. Wonderful. Hi everyone, I hope you're enjoying today's episode of Bardic Quest. Before we get back to the adventure, I just want to take a moment to ask for your support. We work hard to bring you the best episodes every week, and we're always looking for ways to improve and make the show even better. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to our channel. Your support helps us reach more people and keep the show going. And if you want to be even more involved, why not leave a comment or hit the like button on the latest episode? Your feedback is always appreciated. We have so many great episodes for you to check out, so don't miss out. Subscribe to Bardic Quest on YouTube now and never miss an episode. And with that, let's get back to the adventure. So, you head back downstairs and you cross through the bar. The barmaid, she waves at you as you go. And just as you step out, you actually see Margaret come on into the inn as you step outside.
Evening, Margaret.
She goes, "Hello."
Thorik, look, it's Margaret again.
What brings you here, Margaret?
Oh well, I just thought I'd come for a drink. It's been not very lively around here, but lively, so to speak. So
But Margaret, you just had a drink with us. You shouldn't have another one.
I did I?
Yes, you just had one.
Oh.
Yes.
Well,
I did nice
one
stout they have.
Oh.
You should.
Oh,
really
that doesn't explain the
now.
gas. Then no, it doesn't explain the gas.
Well, you were going to have us escort you home, were you not, Margaret? With these trying times and these.
It is very dark.
These ruffians knocking around.
Is that right?
Yes, it is. Come
We
on,
would
Margaret.
hate for
Give me a
anything
deception check,
before you.
please.
Come on, Margaret. Which house is yours?
A deception check, please.
Who's rolling?
Whoever wants to roll, and then they can roll with advantage for having the aid of others.
I'll roll. It's anyone.
You roll with advantage because I'm shite.
One. I'm +0, but here we go.
I did roll, if that helps.
12.
12.
I got a 19.
Oh.
Well, Margaret thinks for a moment. She says, I honestly, to the gods, I don't remember having a drink. Oh. But if you say that I did, then I must have had one.
Yes.
And she looks really concerned. She said, I don't know what's happening to me.
Oh, you just
Come
need a
and
nice
sit
rest.
down. I take her hand really reassuringly and give her like a little stroke. Come and sit down. You've had a trying day.
Oh, that's very kind of you, young man. What's your name?
My name is Johann.
Oh, hey, Johann. Johann.
Yes. You remind me of someone very dear to me. Have I ever told you that?
Oh, well, do you know what? You remind me of somebody as well. What was his name?
Is that so? I look at Saga and Thorik as if to say, I'll take care of this. You guys.
We head off.
Okay.
I would like to just give Johann a little squeeze and shoulder and be like, you're doing ever so well. He's a really lovely chap, and I cast guidance on Johann.
Nice.
in case he needs that. And bless you, Margaret. You are the cornerstone of Phandelver.
Oh, that's very, very kind of you. Very kind of you indeed.
And we
Yeah.
we off.
Okay.
Me and Thorik walk off.
And you can as you walk off, you can hear Margaret just talking Johann's ear off about times gone by and what Phandelver used to be like, when she was much younger.
In the quote-unquote good old days.
Yes.
Indeed.
Make Phandelver great again.
Oh, no, don't.
So, where are you two headed, is the question.
Sildar?
Or are we gonna go more into town? Where is Sildar? Do we know?
Didn't he set up shop at the didn't he set up shop in the town master's quarters?
Yes.
Am I making that up?
You had heard that he had...
Let's go to the town master's town hall.
Yeah. If we don't even go in, we'll probably see or hear something going on, maybe.
Okay. As you make your way towards the town master's hall, which is just across the market square from the inn, you do see a collection of guardsmen preparing to not necessarily leave town per se, but certainly to leave the town master's hall.
Okay.
And they look armed.
Do they look approachable, or are they like, talk to me and your head's off?
They've not even noticed you yet.
Saga, remember, we found Sildar's sword and armor. It could be a nice way in to have a chat with him.
Yes. You have it on you?
I do indeed.
Good.
You
Good.
also see, as you are like walking towards the building, you see a man dressed in fancy red robes, and he's quite short. He's got a pointy black goatee beard, and that kind of, I'm not quite sure what it's called, but it's the stuff that often you see on like royal cloaks, that black and white fur, padding his shoulders, and he looks ready for business, as it were, and he nods towards a couple of the guardsmen.
Is it the town master, or do we think this is Iarno Albrecht?
Well, from what you've heard of the town master through conversations with the locals, both as you've been here now and previously, he is described as a fat, pompous old fool.
We met
this
him,
man
didn't
is.
No, we did not meet the town master. We talked about the town master.
Well, you talked to him through a door, but you never actually saw him. This guy, though, is certainly not fat.
Okay, this is
Pompous, perhaps, but certainly not fat.
Thorik. Do you think this is our Albrecht guy?
Should we speak to them directly and ask to see Sildar?
Yes, we should. We have his prized property.
Would you like to do the honors, or would you like me to?
You, please.
Okay. Good evening, sirs.
Are you talking to the guards or to the man in the robes?
Just in general.
Okay. They all turn to you. Last of all is the man in red robes, and he looks you up and down, and he looks towards you, Saga, and he says, my friends, I believe I was actually on my way to talk to a few individuals matching your very description. Pleasure to meet you.
Oh,
Really? How have you heard of us?
I have my ways and my means, of course. What brings you back to Phandelver?
Forgive me, you have it as a disadvantage. We've not had the pleasure of your acquaintance, Mr.
Albrecht, Jarno Albrecht, at your service. And he does a really sycophantic bow for somebody who is clearly of higher ranking than you. It seems very off.
Pleasure to meet you.
So, as I was asking, he says quite pointedly at you, what brings you back to Phandelver?
Well, sir, we have been searching out our dear compatriot, my friend Saga here. Went missing, and we were looking for her. And thank the gods we found her before any tragedy had befallen her.
Yes.
And we have returned to Phandelver with professional interest and also with a duty, sir, to the well-being of Phandelver. You must have heard of the Red Brands who have been taking up residence here. A bad business, I'm sure you'll agree.
Oh, yes. Awful turn of events. No, but they have been dealt with. Now, tell me, you said you are here again on business interest, but you failed to divulge why exactly.
You're correct.
I would impress upon you the need to share such details.
Why would that be, sir? Is anything the matter?
Well, there has been talk and rumour and, dare I say, frank evidence of much in the way of, how shall we say, unrest in Phandelver, and I am afraid to say, sir, that you and your companions, one of which is stood before me right here, and he looks directly at you, Saga, happen to have been found somewhat in the middle of it all.
Yes, well, I did have an altercation with one of the Red Brands, but surely you won't believe common ruffians
I would rather
over
thought.
a little old...
So is that a
lady.
confession of guilt for an assault?
Forgive me, sir. Are we under some sort of misunderstanding? I thought you said the Red Brands had been dealt with. I was under the impression that you were privy to the fact that they have been terrorizing the people of Phandelver, kidnapping women and children.
And one of them terrorized me, so I might have put him in his place before his hands wandered in places they shouldn't have.
Forgive me, my friends. Perhaps you are from such places that are less civilized than those under the protection of the Lord's Alliance, but let me assure you that law and order will be maintained across all settlements under our protection, and I'm afraid to say that no matter what you think is going on in this town, you are not authorized to bring the law into your own hands. So I ask you again, why have you returned to Phandelver?
Well, to make safe the people of Phandelver. And it would strike me odd and convenient that you turn up now and not perhaps 6 months ago, where maybe your presence might have been greater felt. Perhaps the people of this town were so in desperate need that it was lucky indeed that honest and law-abiding people would happen by such a town.
And he lets out a really arrogant laugh, which really makes your blood boil. He says, law-abiding? Law-abiding? And he turns to his men and he says, law-abiding? And some of them let out a nervous chuckle.
I laugh with them. I'm like...
And he clicks his fingers, and one of the guards brings a piece of paper to him, and he holds up the wanted poster, and he says, "Law-abiding people do not protect such outlaws as this." And he rolls it up and hands it back to one of the guards, not even looking at him.
Who is that, sir?
Yeah.
Now, let us dispense with all of this foolishness. You know full well of whom I speak.
Well,
You have been seen with him previously. Now, the charges that I may potentially lay before you, unless you choose to speak more plainly, are that either you are protecting him still, or when you left town previously, with knowledge of his previous crimes, you have sought to hide him beyond the boundaries of this town and beyond my jurisdiction.
your jurisdiction ends in Phandelver, then?
Not quite. But depending upon where you may have taken him, because, let us be frank, based upon reports, you have been gone for quite some time.
Is traveling now against the law?
It all depends on whom you are travelling with, young lady.
You have not given us a name of the person that we're supposedly in league with, sir, and I do not recognize the person upon that piece of paper.
His name is Sergei Petrovic, whom some know as the Whaler. Ever encountered him?
Yes, indeed, sir. We left Phandelver, as your sources say. But Sergei very much decided to go his own way. He seemed troubled by something. Perhaps this explains the reason. We're not aware of these crimes he was supposedly accused of. He was, to us, seemingly a goodly person with an honest heart who was very useful in recovering one Gundren Rockseeker, who we rescued from Cragmore Castle. He went his own separate way in good faith, and, frankly, so good a man I've not met in a while. Now, if he is accused of these things, that is your business with him. But we have not seen this man since we returned to Phandelver. And frankly, we don't wish to get involved. Now, I hope what you say is true about the Red Brands and that they are indeed dealt with, but there's a lot of problems in this town, sir. And I should hope you would let us help deal with the troubles that this town has faced.
Can you give me a persuasion check, please?
I am shit at charisma.
Can I try to help somehow?
You've not said much for a while, so
Yeah.
we'll give it a straight roll.
Oh no. No.
That is an unnatural 1.
I'm gonna. Saga's gonna say, perchance, do you know Halfra and Loren?
He gives you a knowing look, Thorik. Then he turns to you, Saga, and he says, I am not familiar with that name, no.
Oh. Of the House of Loren? You've never heard of him. He's a very dear friend of mine.
The House of Loren I have heard of.
Yes. Well,
But of
he's...
Halfran Loren, if that is indeed his name, then
Yes.
I have not heard.
He's a very close friend of mine.
Well,
I was hoping to meet him. You know, he's royalty. Wondered if you'd seen him around. Would very much like to see him.
He laughs, and you hear a few of the men behind him chuckle. He says, the House of Loren may be many things, but I wouldn't go so far as to say royalty.
Well,
Perhaps in some circles.
so
I'm not entirely sure what it is you are asking of me.
I was asking if you knew someone very important and with a lot of power. Seems you don't, Shay.
Oh, believe me. If power is what you are after, then my connections would be something of envy. Certainly above any members of the House of Lorraine.
Is that so?
Indeed.
Well, if you had anything else to say, if you don't have anything else to say to us,
I
we'd
do
quite like to
have something
retire
else
for the night.
to say, in fact.
Yes.
Your friend, the Whaler. Let me speak plainly. If I see or hear but a atom of him, he shall be arrested and tried on pain of death. Pray to your many gods that I never, ever encounter him.
Where
And
is... Oh, sorry.
if there is any evidence that you have worked to hide him from me, then a similar fate may befall yourselves.
Well, let us hope that your jurisdiction doesn't end where we end up then, sir. And where is Sildar, if I may ask?
Inside, and he gestures towards the townmaster's hall.
Well, at least that's one useful thing you've said.
Have
Good
a
evening, sir.
good evening.
And
We'll
we
go inside.
barrel past him.
The guards step in front of the doorway.
Excuse me, lads.
There are about 10 of them.
We found Sildar, who we also rescued a while back. We found his items. We simply wanted to return them to him.
He turns to one of the guardsmen, nods to them, and they hold out their hands expectantly.
Thorik
Oh, I would be much more comfortable if I gave them to Sildar myself, seeing as we saved his life. If not, you can call him out to meet us. Surely you can understand. We don't want to give his property to someone else.
Give me a
And
persuasion check, please.
You're not worried by little old us, are you, boys? There's... how many of them are there?
10.
10. There's 10 of you and 2 of us. You're not so twitchy that you'd be so worried about us in front of Mr. Compensating over here.
Oh my god.
You can do that check with advantage if you like.
Well, it was an 18 without advantage. I can roll again to see if it's a 20. No, it's the 18.
He sighs and he says, "Very well, but you will do so under escort."
Oh, how lovely. How I love being surrounded by so many big strapping men.
And you see one of them puff their chest out.
We have that on the shirt, just out of context.
Did they not
Thorik.
hear the sarcasm in
The one who puffs his chest out, Thorik just like nudges him in the testicles with the haft of his hammer. He's like, "Easy, big boy, come on now."
And he assigns 4 guardsmen to the 2 of you.
Deja vu.
And
We're constantly surrounded by these
he says,
meat bricks.
he said, "Whilst you are dealing with your friend Sildar, our mutual friend, should I say, I'm going to pay the inn a visit." He turns on his heel and takes the rest of the men with him.
I don't think it's particularly professional for a working man to have a drink on duty.
He pays you no heed, and you can just see his robes kind of billowing behind him as he marches directly towards the inn. And that is where we shall end this week's episode.
Oh, I'm sweating.
What a
I'm
prick.
sweating.
What a prick.
I know. Why am I constantly surrounded by meat bricks?
Hey.
Not you guys.
Oh.
I resent that.
Thank you, folks, for tuning in as always. Don't forget to like and subscribe, leave a comment, and also rate and review on your podcatcher of choice. And we will catch you guys next week. So that's it for another exciting episode of Bardic Quest. We hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. Before we go, we just wanted to give a big shout out to James Webster for letting us use his amazing animated artwork as part of the show. If you're a fan, be sure to show your support at patreon.com/JamesRPGArt. And of course, we can't forget the incredible sounds and music provided by Sirenscape. So head over to sirenscape.com to check out their amazing work.